And so, peace and black power. And I guess you might call this a response to comments made by Professor Booker T. Coleman in a House of Consciousness video that was brought to my attention concerning nigga. See, we not gonna say the N-word. I don't know what the N-word is. The N-word could be numbnuts. The M-word could be knucklehead, even though that's spelled with a K. The N-word could be knock it off, because that's not real. In this case, respectfully to brother Professor Booker T. Coleman and his Inga theory, I really don't understand how brothers could have so much insight and intelligence and yet attempt to imbue the ignorant ass cracker with knowledge of ancient African culture and civilization so that they knew to call you this. This is not real. What has happened is a psychological misfit has been created between the reality and the fantasy of nigga in America. And this psychological disconnect took place as a result of a traumatic event. The traumatic event was slavery and the mistreatment of black people, with emphasis on the black man and black masculinity. And in an attempt to somehow bridge the psychic divide that has caused, there has now emerged a crop of individuals espousing ridiculous, pseudo, historical disinformation designed to make nigga somehow less vulgar, less demeaning, less slavish than it actually is. In point of fact, the word that we now know as nigger did not exist before slavery of black people in America. Let me say that again so that this really takes root into your consciousness, because what's occurring is you are allowing people to mislead you and to have you think that nigga was somehow this ancient word in Africa that they call this great people and the God of that people was the great nigga. Don't go for that nonsense. That is not real. What is real is this. The Spanish word negro could not be pronounced correctly by those ignorant ass dirt farming former criminal Europeans that was over here. They couldn't say it. When they got us, remember, their story goes, in 1619, a Dutch ship landed in Jamestown, Virginia. See, they don't want to tell you that they were pirates and that they were illegally trafficking in stolen people. So they tell you about some damn Dutch ship, you understand, that landed in 1619. In actuality, they were trafficking our ancestors. This is real. It don't get no plainer than that. Pirates hit you in the head, kidnapped you, and they didn't always look like them. The pirates that hit you in the head could have looked just like you. Just they was the pirates from over there. You have to understand and somehow come to grips with the reality that you were victimized first by your own and then by foreigners, violated, savagely abused, misused for centuries, so that your children were born with no knowledge to connect them to the past, and only the grim and terribly psychotic reality that they awoke to find themselves in during slavery. Now, we have individuals who are attempting to make acceptable the term that was used for slave, that was used to break the will of the slave, that was used to break the will of the slave. Nigga. There are those who have become so comfortable with this term that they readily accept the external view that it is somehow a term of endearment. Meanwhile, back in reality, when you get upset, when you really want to hurt somebody, I'm gonna kill that nigga. That's not endearment. That's that psychotic break, that snap, that triggering effect, that Pavlovian effect of psychic trauma caused by intense abuse perpetrated over centuries, every day, day in, day out, abuse until it became normal. And now you have individuals attempting to breathe legitimacy into the term that they called us while they were abusing us. That is submission. The time for submission is over. Slavery is over. There are no more niggas. My people are not niggas. We are free men. It is time to decide to be free men. Stand up. Now is the time. You see the environment. You see the climate. You see what's going on. It's no longer time to be silent. This is no longer time to say it doesn't matter. Now is the time to coalesce, to bring those fingers closer together. Now is the time to put that slave shit down. Put that nigga shit down. It does us no good. It means us no good. It represents us in an awful way. And it has come to characterize all that is negative in the ignorance that was forced upon our ancestors and handed down to us as a legacy. And you want to actually sit on camera and say your mother called you that and she loved you, and not really grasp the significance of the manner in which your mother came by that terminology, courtesy of the slave master, courtesy of the whip, courtesy of the molester, the rapist. I really think that a reflective moment is called for on the part of scholarly brothers who fail to grasp the significance of the insult of this term. Now, while you look and you see a picture of white Jesus on a wall and you can grasp the significance of the psychological trauma that that picture can cause, because that picture looks like white people, and if God looks like white people and people were created in the image of God, that means that white people were created in the image of God. You can understand that psychology. Why can't you understand the psychology that if they were whipping your ass and calling you nigger and you were submitting to that shit, bowing your goddamn head to that shit, lowering your gaze in the presence of white people to that shit, how the hell are you walking around here today calling yourself that shit? It's time to stand up and be men amongst men on planet Earth. It is not time to be niggas in America. It is time to take our rightful place at the table of nations. We are our own people now. We are no longer the people of our ancestors. That culture is not real to us. You see this in the differences between the individuals who migrate here from the continent of Africa, anywhere. You see the differences between their culture and our culture. So much so that you have individuals here who don't understand that they have a culture. It's time to really, really bring these fingers closer together, because there has to be some fundamental understanding understood in order to proceed. you can't just take a group of individuals with absolutely no useful information that they could apply to any situation and then take them forward, because that will only bring about chaos and confusion. We see that now. We see that right here, right now.